All right, hey everyone. Um, Thank you for coming back to the channel. I'm Eric Trant, the principal partner of Outer Snail Productions, and if you haven't been here before, welcome. So, I wasn't planning on making a whole lot of videos like this, at least not right away. I mean, I figured we'd probably get to some if something obviously wrong was occurring, but I feel like here we are. It's January, and there's already some kind of crazy shit being talked about that I just felt like we needed to address. So, uh, and upfront, with respect to this topic, I don't really care how you feel about the incoming president. Okay, this is just some basic, we're all human beings level shit that I want to talk about. So, given all the recent discussion about invading Greenland and Panama, or at least pressuring them into giving us what we want, I felt like we just needed to have a little bit of a reality check, like simple discussion on what that actually means. Okay. And I don't think we're going to be invading these countries. I really don't see us doing that. Although, and I haven't watched all the video yet, I was reading that Hegseth in his confirmation hearing refused to give a straight answer as to whether or not he would oppose us doing so.
Canada, the 51st state. Would you carry out an order from President Trump to seize Greenland, a territory of our NATO ally Denmark, by force? Or would you comply with an order to take over the Panama Canal?
Senator, I will emphasize that President Trump received 77 million votes to be the lawful commander
We're
in
not
chief of
talking
this
about
country.
the election. My question is.
So, anyway, long COVID. Man, I've had a cough for like 3 weeks. It's killing me. How am I supposed to get this done if I keep coughing over everything? All right. I just popped another I just popped some more cough medicine. So hopefully it'll keep it down. All right, COVID, stay the fuck away. Or flu or whatever the hell this is. All right. So I do want to just state though that the idea that we would even just insinuate that there's a possibility we would invade.
So forth. Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is?
Threatening or insinuating violence to force someone to give you something you want is textbook extortion, which, yes, is illegal. Yeah, I mean, that's like organized crime kind of shit.
Come on, Rabbit. Get out there and see if the coast is clear. Okay, boss.
I have a hard time understanding how people can support a position like that. So, this isn't rocket science or quantum mechanics. It's very straightforward. Taking something that doesn't belong to you is stealing.
But
I don't care how you may want to rationalize it, saying that these places are
the
strategically
Panama Canal is
important
vital
for national
to our
security,
country. It's being
or
operated by
their
China.
assets are important
China.
for economic
And we
security.
hated that.
Regardless of how badly you want something, just walking in and taking it is stealing. Every 5-year-old in Sunday school can comprehend this concept, okay? If you struggle to understand this, let's just make a simple analogy. Not even a thought experiment, just a simple analogy. I really enjoy sim racing, and I would love to have a real Porsche 911 GT3 RS to go haul ass around the Nürburgring, right? But I can't afford one right now. I couldn't even negotiate my way into one, probably. If I were to go take a gun into my local Porsche dealer and take one, I would be arrested for stealing and assault with a deadly weapon, probably a whole bunch of other crimes. Alternatively, if I were to pay a group of people to go walk into the Porsche dealer and take it for me by force, I would still be held accountable for the same crimes and probably a whole bunch of like RICO conspiracy ones. And if one of those people happened to kill someone as they stole this property, I would be charged with murder along with them. Regardless of how you want to rationalize it, there's absolutely no difference between me stealing this Porsche to satisfy my need for speed and us using our military to steal property and assets and resources to satisfy our strategic or economic necessities. Let's just take it a step further and say we did this. And I'm going to stick with the Porsche analogy. Let's say I got away with taking the car. Would the dealership just look away and say, oh, well, it's gone? Or let's make it personal. Think about it from your perspective. If you were in this situation and someone stole your car, or if some group of people walked up to your house armed with assault rifles, threatened you and your family, kicked you out, and claimed ownership of it. Or that's pretty dramatic. So let's just make it even simpler. Let's just say some ass at your kid's grade school stole your daughter's favorite toy and beat her up in the process. Would you just be like, oh, well, he's a bully. That's how it goes? Fuck no, you wouldn't. Not unless you're a giant fucking coward. You would do everything in your power to protect your little girl and get her bunny back. You would do everything within your power to get your house back. So what do you think the people in Greenland or Panama would do? Even if like no other country came to help them resist and their government rolled over, the people would be pissed and likely do whatever is within their power to fight back. Even if it takes years and years, they would likely never stop fighting, especially if they lost loved ones in the invasion or had their actual property taken from them. Why do you think this shit's been going on in Palestine for so long? Those people feel like their land's been stolen and their people oppressed and killed. They will never stop fighting. Would you? Saddam, way back in the day, invading Kuwait to take their oil fields and access to the Gulf, was stealing. Putin annexing Crimea, or Crimea, however you pronounce it, and invading Ukraine is stealing. If China were to invade Taiwan, it's stealing. If we were to invade Greenland or forcibly take back the Panama Canal, it is stealing. At a bare minimum, it's stealing. These are criminal acts, both under man's laws and, if you're someone of faith, under God's laws. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's house. It can't get any fucking clearer. If you really want something, you think it's that important, the appropriate way to obtain it is to do the hard work, to afford it, lease the properties that you need, or negotiate something in exchange with the current owners that they feel is fair and are willing to accept. You put your amazing, best ever negotiating skills to the task and make a deal. This is basic market economics. And more importantly, you have to accept that you may not get everything you want and have to settle on a compromise that isn't everything but gets you close. And in some instances, be strong enough to accept that you may have to walk away with nothing. That's life. The ability to accept that and walk away is an example of strength. You can't respond like a sore loser and throw a tantrum and threaten violence to get what you want.
What's the price tag?
Well, maybe no price tag. Look, we're going to have to see what happens because Denmark, we need this for national security. We need Greenland very badly.
A few minutes later.
Now, Denmark maybe doesn't like it, but then we can't be too happy with Denmark, and maybe things have to happen with respect to Denmark having to do with tariffs.
And honestly, in that situation, The ability to walk away today will likely improve your chances of being successful in the future.
It's like with your neighbors. Who are you going to be more friendly with? The guy that helped you shovel your driveway or the dude that lets their dog shit on your front lawn?
So, to end this, for any random people that are watching this, just like the other shit that we intend to put on this channel, it's like, what can an average person do about this besides just listening to me ramble on? And what I would say is just don't look the other way and just accept this as something that's okay. Take a look inside yourself and ask, like, what are the limits that I am willing to accept? And hold people accountable when they go past them.
And also just remember you can really love someone and still disagree with things they do. You're not a mindless sheep. You can have your own opinions on things and it's not going to get you in trouble.
And also, I would say, think really hard about a situation where if you have a loved one in the armed services and they were to go get killed, retaking control of Panama or invading Greenland, is Greenland worth your son's life? Really? I don't know any, but I'm pretty damn sure that no Russian mothers want their sons slaughtered in Ukraine. So, what can we as average people do? I think honestly, just don't look the other way. Reach out to your House representative, senators, let them know that you don't support this. I think you can just do that in a simple email. And for anyone who's in a position to actually be considering whether to take these actions, just in general, recognize like, dude, if you do this, you're being a dick. The kid who beat up my little girl at school is a dick. The guys that came to try to take your house by force are fucking dicks and should rot in jail. And I'm going to call out anyone who is empowered to prevent something like this and doesn't, or just whitewashes it and looks the other way. Any government official or faith leader who claim to honor the rule of law or those of God, if you do not denounce this and make an effort to prevent it, you are a hypocrite and a coward. So, thank you for listening. If you agree with what I'm saying, please reach out to your elected officials and let them know that you feel this is something that we definitely shouldn't be doing. And thank you for stopping by.